Have raised concerns about the speed of the Prime Minister's plan. At the moment, the hospitality industry will not be able to fully reopen until at least the 17th of May. Let's go to Martin Greenhow. He's the Managing Director of Mojo. It's a bar chain that has 5 sites across England. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. And
good afternoon.
Hi. Am I right in thinking that none of your bars have outdoor space, so you'll have to be waiting till the last moment to reopen?
We have a couple of our sites that have very modest outdoor space, and it's something we've been looking at today. We're pretty much on the fence as to whether it's going to be worthwhile. Of course, you know, we're in the north of England. It's not the Caribbean. The weather would have a large part to play in any decision, and at the moment, I'm pretty sceptical that it will be worthwhile.
So, how do you feel then about the prospect of not being able to open until May? What impact could that have on the business?
Well, first off, I suppose it's fair to say that it is a relief to at least see a roadmap ahead of us with a hopeful date where we can open. I have to say, I'm also disappointed that the speed of travel seems to be slower than we would have liked. I think, importantly for ourselves in hospitality, but also for other businesses in the aligned sectors. So, you know, we're talking about hotels, we're talking about live music venues, we're talking about event spaces, weddings, all these people who have been literally sat on our hands for 11 months are now looking at another 3 months before we can get back to meaningful business. And so we look to the Chancellor and we look to the upcoming budget for really 5 things. We need to ensure that furlough support remains there, so we don't just have people arriving on the unemployment lines in droves. We need to see the extension of the business rate holiday, which frankly is a tax on using property for businesses, and we've not been allowed to do that. So how you can charge it is a mystery to me. We need to look at a methodology of dealing with the repayment of CBIL loans and bounce back loans, which are becoming pretty prescient now. These things are about to come live, and we're not able to trade yet. We need the VAT rate on wet and dry sales to be cut to the bare minimum. And the other thing which I think is important to mention is we've seen, you know, a ruling from the courts to say that the people who've been lucky enough to have insurance claims ratified are still waiting to be paid out. And the government need to bring pressure to bear on the insurers to actually do this, because it's a very cynical game being played, where the insurers are quite frankly waiting for businesses to go under so they don't have to settle these claims. So, you know, there's a gulf to get across before we're allowed to trade. And we do want to trade. We don't want to be begging. We don't want to be a burden on society. We want to get back to business. We want to get back to contributing to the coffers of the government, to providing public services to people, and give people that break from the monotony that we've had from the last year.
If those 5 things that you outlined don't happen, or some of them don't happen, what impact would that have? Are you worried about the survival of the business?
I'm worried about the survival of the sector. I'm worried about the survival of our towns and city centres. Towns and cities are made up on the whole of 3 things: office spaces, retail and hospitality. Now, we know retail is in dire straits and they need assistance. Hospitality has been left in freefall. We were effectively drafted and told to stand down to help the help the country. But we've been told to pick up the tab for that. Now, that seems wholly unjust to me. And we've got office workers who are working from home and have got accustomed to that, and I don't blame them for that. So do we want to see town and city centres left derelict? I've said many times, we could be looking at a situation where we've got towns and cities that will resemble the mining villages of the late 80s, where people simply walk away and abandon them. Now, that has further repercussions, where we've got landlords and we've got financial institutions that will find themselves in dire straits. That's not a situation anybody will benefit from.
Just very briefly, Freedom Day, potentially 21st of June. How much are you looking forward to that?
I've not heard it called Freedom Day.
That's maybe excessive.
I am looking forward to being back at work. I struggle to know what day of the week it is most of the time at the moment. we're a passionate bunch in hospitality. We enjoy what we do. We enjoy seeing people. I think you had Deborah Mead on earlier.
Martin, I just
You
have to interrupt you. We need to say goodbye for viewers watching us on BBC Two. Thanks for your company. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Sorry, you were talking about Deborah Meaden.
I was, yes. Deborah Meaden mentioned earlier, you know, we and I have said this many times, we're social animals. There are millions of years worth of evolution that have gone into the fact that we live in cohorts of groups. We don't live in tiny little nacelles. You know, we need each other's interaction. We need that company. We need it for our health, not just physical, but mental health and developmental health. And the sooner that returns, the better for everybody.
Yes, thank you. Now, an update.